You got me. You got me. I probably could have fixed it without ending the stream. But thank y'all for joining again. I'm assuming everything is working. We'll double check here in a second or check with the comments. Is what it is, man. But this is the future. Welcome to the future. What I was saying, maybe we should do an intro again because this is going to be the classic. Quick update for everybody. We went live for about 10 minutes and it wasn't live on all the platforms that we were trying to share to. So here we are again. Welcome, is what it is. Thank y'all for coming back. We will pick up steam here in a second. I guess I should have had more Celsius this morning. Pepsi sponsor us. Also, this is a new flavor that's out for the winter time.
Oh, what is it?
Spirits Vibe.
Ooh.
Sparkling Snowball Frost. You know what that means, Josh?
No.
Flavored chemicals.
Hell yeah, baby. Dude, I got the oh,
you got to get on stream.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The ones you got, like the packet where it's like Cosmic Vibe.
Mhm.
What was the other one? Like Galactic Vibe. Galactic Vibe tastes like alcohol. But those the Cosmic one, shit good, dude.
Cosmic's
that's
good.
good.
It tastes like red icy.
Yeah,
You
red
just go to the gas station and get ices. I don't do that
Could do
anymore,
that.
but is what it is. All right. Thank y'all for coming back. Apparently everybody made it back in. I appreciate it. We're gonna get into. I guess we'll do a little. We'll shorten up the intro this time. We're gonna get into the coalition, the Jewish coalition, and the fracturing on the right, the Balkanization of the right. We're seeing it more prominent now that the lines are beginning to form. We've been kind of talking about the movement for a while now, Josh. And even I don't know, back a couple months ago, trying to explain to Rodney where we're going and who all that encompasses. And I think that's defining itself now. So we're going to maybe get into that a little bit today without getting too heavy into the Fuentes talk. I think we already flushed a lot of that out. But Lord of the Rings says,
Thank you for the super chat, brother.
looks like we're right on accident again, Josh. Only took about 4 days. Isn't predicting the future fun.
Pretty easy, Lord of the Rings. Now, I want to say this before you say anything, Zeb.
Right on accident about what?
Hold on. What Lord of the Rings is saying is when you left the show early Thursday and it was just me and him, we were talking about the Nick comment on...
he called in, yeah.
Yeah. When he called in and we talked about how Nick was saying, if you're born here, it's your heritage. This controversy. And what we said is it's most likely a slip of the tongue. I haven't gotten to it yet, but Lord of the Rings said he addressed it in a show last night. And that's exactly what it was. It's like, yeah, it sounds that way when you analyze it in like a 5-second context, but he completely denounced and said he's against birthright citizenship.
No, he didn't.
So, well, okay, I haven't seen the clip yet.
I'm not going to do this to you today.
I haven't seen
because you haven't watched the show.
Okay. But
it's a word salad, and he doesn't directly address it. Lord of the Rings, you have cognitive dissonance. Figure it out. You can, if you want to claim the future and you're only 4 days out, we got to figure something out here, brother. We got a couple years. I got a couple years on you. But what I was saying is basically on the Fuentes, you haven't watched it yet. I mean, I'll address it real quick. Is that it's a lot of word salad. He addresses it, but he doesn't actually address it because the context in which it was built built around partnering with non-whites, which is fine. I have no issue with that. The issue comes when you claim birthright on the back of that. That is the context. And so he never denounces the birthright claim in his retort. And so I'm not going to, we can't really address it if you haven't watched it yet. So
why don't we pull it up?
All right, let's do
Is that what you guys want to see today? We got plenty to talk about. So
probably too much, actually. Let me pull it up then. We weren't going to do this, but we'll do it. We'll do it since Lord of the Rings sent us producer money. Buy a producer money. That's what super chats are. Super chats are figure the tech out.
This is what I was going to say before I was so rudely interrupted. Is basically my point is to Zeb's credit. I'll defend Zeb here. His argument does not hinge on Nick's comments from that show a few weeks ago. I've talked with Zeb. We've talked about our beliefs on the air. I've talked to them off the air, and essentially it comes down to it's not one thing Nick has said, it's many things. So I don't think it's wrong for Zeb if you were to say, if you show this clip and it doesn't say what you say it's saying, I would say you have cognitive dissonance, but that remains to be seen. I do think you do a little bit. I think I
Well,
mean, in the same way,
you would think that because you
could
don't
say,
have the
you
full
could say Lord of the
context.
Ree and myself have cognitive dissonance because we're explaining it away. I could say you have it because you don't, the explanation isn't sufficient. Time will tell, which is what we said last week.
So my position on Nick has been pretty clear, I think, for a very long time. Is I think that he is or was a necessary in this movement on the right. I think he is now compromised, obviously, from if you can't gather that already. And so that necessary kind of carries with it I think 6 minutes.
Would you rather listen to Nick or Levin?
Yeah, let's get to the Levin stuff. We can do Nick Thursday because obviously more is going to come of it between now and then. I think we have to deal with it, though, is the problem. We have to deal with it.
I was joking saying whose voice is less annoying. So let's listen to Nick because I want to see the clip.
All right, we're going to watch the clip one. Let me get audio fixed here. I might have to get up.
Hey. The Groiper curse. Don't make it come for us, Zeb.
We always have bad tech. We need producer.
Wayne 8. Some guy in the comments, Mr. Dweeb, wants to be the producer. You gonna move to South Carolina and work for free?
Turn me up some. All right, let's go. We're gonna watch this thing. I guess we can stop it periodically and go from there. But
sure,
this is the clip. It's about 6 minutes. We're gonna get through this, and then I guess we'll speed run the Mark Levin stuff. Thank y'all for joining us today. And if you do want to pay for a producer, super chat.
Euro sent $50. My feed was filled with Fuentes for birthright citizenship. Is that true?
Oh, is it not set to the TV?
Mexican was born here that they have a birthright?
It is.
Mexicans were only 4% of the pop-up.
Apparently not.
Should be.
Be on TV. Try now.
Until 1970 and are the largest collective of welfare recipients, etc. A foreigner in the Bible is not determined by paperwork, but by blood.
Well, I love that. I'm glad you brought that up. So on my show last week, we're talking about Israel first versus America first. And I said that Josh Hammer, his wife is Israeli. His kids are Israeli. I said, they're not even from here. I said, if you're from here, if you're born here, I said, this is your birthright. This is America. And I saw all of my ankle biters in the pro-white movement took that clip and they said, is Nick Fuentes endorsing birthright citizenship? Do you think that is the point of that clip? We're talking about America first versus Israel first. We're talking about people that literally are foreigners. They're foreign nationals, bossing us around, intimidating us, controlling our system. In this context, I said, if you're born in America, if you're a citizen, this is your birthright. And people, their interpretation of that is, oh, so anchor babies own America? Really? That's what you got from that? Me telling people Americans should take pride in being American, that's what you got out of that? And what was funny is the only people that heard it that way were like so-called white nationalists. Isn't that amazing? Because I haven't proven that I'm pro-white. Like, I do a show every night.
He's not addressing the issue. He said on Tucker Carlson's show that my best friend is Jewish. He said, I want to ally with non-whites, which is fine. That in itself isn't the issue. But when we have a repeated, constant issue with the non-whites he allies with, Ye, Sneeko, Ali Alexander, all of these guys throughout Nick's history that have just backstabbed him on the basis of allying with them, on the basis of Israel bad. That's Nick's entire position on allying with people. That's the entire point of the Muslim Christian alliance was to be anti-Israel or anti-Jewish. And the issue comes when you don't actually address the issues. It seems that all of Nick's allies that are close to him, with this respect, when we go to what Tario and all of his head lieutenants, at some point you got to think, okay, maybe we should change things up, because it's always going to end the same way that this Muslim Christian alliance is going to end, because it's always on the same basis of hate Israel. If that's the basis, and we keep allying with people on that basis, there is no pro movement whatsoever, even if you claim pro-white.
All right, so let me just
We didn't make it through the whole clip,
let
but
me just hone in
ahead.
real quick. Are we talking about, because I thought the whole point of us bringing this up was to address Nick's stance on birthright citizenship, not whether or not it was a good idea to work with Sneeko and Myron or Sneeko and
It's the same.
what's his name?
It's the same conversation. It's the same context.
So what's the complaint here? Like, because
Well, he never denies birthright citizenship to non-Americans.
Be fair. What you were getting at last week when this clip came out, you were saying he got, whether recently or otherwise, he's been assimilated by Tucker. He's changing up the rhetoric. And what he is pushing is going to be, he's softening the landing pad for things like birthright citizenship. And now he's saying,
no, he didn't.
That's not the case.
That's not what he said.
What did he say?
That's not what he said. He never denies birthright citizenship in this. He is gaslighting you into thinking that he's denying birthright citizenship. He never actually says it here. To think that Nick isn't intelligent is insane.
That's not what I'm saying. I like him because he's intelligent. What I'm saying is, like, he has a clip that on its face, as I've said and Atlas Thug Test said, it doesn't sound good. But he does these rants and they're not scripted. Sometimes things just sometimes he says unoptical things. This is not anything new to him. But because of like, if this were any other time, I'd be like, you're crazy. But because of the Tucker interview, it made me suspicious as well. But giving him the benefit of the doubt, I think it's a slip of the tongue. I find it super hard to believe that, like, a month ago, he's talking about how Vivek Ramaswamy could never be an American, but now he's flipping the script.
A month ago, he was saying Tucker Carlson was a Fed. You can't.
No. You're
these two
right.
things are completely.
You're right.
The same.
But I'm talking about the birthright citizenship.
It's the same conversation.
It's the idea that, like, and I get it. If I was in your shoes, it probably wouldn't be convincing to me either. But it's the idea that, like, in his 7-minute long retort, which we've only gotten 2 minutes in, he never says the words, "I denounce birthright citizenship."
No.
But he's saying, am I not proven that I'm like a pro-white nationalist? Which is what
in
we
his
are
past
about.
he has, to some extent.
So it's a daily affirmation type thing?
No, it's not a daily affirmation. We're within the context of the last at least month and a half, which has been an absolute nightmare post Charlie Kirk. You say he switches tactics, but it's not just switching tactics. We go on an absolute generational run with a kosher cast of podcast tour. That's what we're looking at. This is the issue, is not that that it's within this tiny frame. It's that along the line of post Charlie Kirk, something changed. And can we not acknowledge that the podcast tour that he's been on has been absolutely top tier, top shelf? Who greenlighted it? That should be an absolute question that we ask. And if we can't understand that the people that are funding these influencers that he's going on with all have something in common, then we have an issue.
And we can get, because, like, I don't know that I buy that every single person he's gone on is on the Israel payroll. Like, I'm not sure.
That's fine.
So
it doesn't have the argument, every single one.
Is the argument that because what my belief
it had to
is,
be greenlit.
What?
It had to be greenlit.
By who?
Somebody.
But that doesn't make any sense.
It does make sense.
I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm saying I think it's fair for me to ask. It has to be greenlit by somebody. Who?
Okay,
Netanyahu?
somebody that's been blacklisted
who's-
for years
So
comes
what
out
we're
of
saying,
nowhere and just has this monumentous return of like 30 some odd podcasts in 30 some odd days
but you're
out of
ignoring
nowhere.
you're ignoring the context. This isn't 2018. This isn't 2020. The tide and conversation on Israel has shifted, and Nick gained himself a lot of credibility by predicting what Donald Trump would and would not do. And now he has become, as we've said before, unavoidable.
We have
And
to
then what
address
happens?
this. No, we have to
get on
address
this.
this.
He
No,
goes
we
on
have
this
to address
so-called
this.
kosher tour, and admittedly, I'm not pleased with it because
Tucker
of
Carlson.
how milk toast it is.
Tucker Carlson,
Yes.
fed less than a month ago. Dave Smith, debate with all of his other Jewish buddies. He's taken the other position. Fed a month ago. These are positions and people that Nick has claimed probably a month and a half ago now. And so at some point we have to think, okay, what's really going on here? This massive switch up is, okay, don't call it a switch up. That's fine. But something had to have changed to be able to platform Nick with no issue.
But it's
Is that
It's
not okay? Is that not a
okay.
genuine question that should be asked?
Because I'm trying to think of what could I say to convince you. And there's nothing. I don't think there's anything I can
have
say
too
right.
much context.
Sure,
It's done.
And vice versa.
I've tried to not be convinced.
Excuse me.
This is why I've given him permission of a necessary in the position, in the movement of moving this thing forward.
All right. So with that being said, it's not without consequence. Tucker's getting attacked.
Correct.
What's his name of the freaking Heritage Foundation? He's been like dragged through the mud.
Mhm.
And I get the argument is this is what is that, a pincer move almost?
Nick is doing exactly what we claimed Tucker would.
Nick, but again, you're reading that into the situation.
Not.
I admit it is possible, but you can't say that with certainty. And I get it. If I were of the mind before Tucker Carlson that Nick is probably a Fed, oh well, now I'd be more than certain. But I think the assessment back then was incorrect, and therefore, and look, I'll said it 100 times already. I'll say it again. It's weird. It's suspect, but there's a lot we don't know, and that depends. If Nick, and let's just talk this out. What do you think happened? The only thing I can think of to, like, if your theory is correct, they straight up like dragged him into a warehouse, pulled up his twin sister, bag over her head, and we're like, we're gonna fucking kill this bitch if you don't do what we say. And he is literally like lasso of truth, hands tied behind his back.
All right. So to answer that question,
But okay, go ahead. Yeah.
hold on. Let me. What did I click on? Get him out of here.
I was like, man, Owen Schroyer really let himself go.
Out of here. All right. So I posted in the group. I'm not going to be able to find it. I posted in the troop chat. Yeah, the long thing that you probably didn't read. Did you read it?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I can paraphrase. All right, so let me grab the super chat before we jump into it. Lord of the Reese says, Zeb stays in shape of moving goalposts. I'm not moving the goalposts. The conversation is moving.
Say what you
I'm
will.
not moving the goalposts.
That's a funny comment.
Dr. Tetanus, I stay in the shape of chasing Nick's ever-shifting alliances and positions ever since his first debate with Halsey English. Who was that?
I don't know that
I
one.
don't know that one. I don't know that one.
Where is it?
All
Here
right.
we go.
So let me give you a rundown, I guess, to answer Josh's question and maybe Lord of the Ring. What happened to Nick?
I just posted it in our chat. You want me to text it to you?
No, I got it in the head. All right. So I've established this before. This is what the FBI does. This is one of their, 2 to 3 odd playbooks. They keep it simple because that's just the way it works. Typically, it's applied to school shooters or mass shooters or false flags that they want to push. They have, these people have a running with the FBI prior. We know that even Tyler Robinson did. They have run-ins with the FBI or CIA or one of the intelligence agencies prior. This is probably 2 to 5 years prior. And then of the incident, whatever we'll call that, the incident. And so what happens during that period, it is hey, you did something very, very bad. We could lock you away for a really long time, or we'll let you go for a few years. And then when we give you the call to pull the trigger on whatever it is, typically is pulling the trigger, you can't say no. And so this is what happened with Nick in January 6th. Nick is one of 2 people that didn't go to prison after January 6th, after calling for entering the Capitol. Who was the other guy, you asked? The other guy was Epps, Ray Epps, which we all know is a known federal informant. Most likely a Fed agent himself. And so this is where we need to pin Nick at on his transition, if you will. I'm not going to say that it happened then. I don't think it did. I think he maintained everything that he has up until the Charlie Kirk killing. And so that's what, January 6th, just under 4 years, 5 years. And so that's what we're looking at now is the transition post Charlie Kirk, which is, I believe they went to Nick and they said something to the effect of, we're going to pin this on a Groyper because we don't want you in the position to influence people directly anymore. We need to remove you from power. And so we can do that one of 2 ways. We can let a Groyper kill Charlie Kirk, in which we can then claim Groypers are a terrorist organization. Any instance of Groyper out in public is an arrest on site, essentially, right? If they're a terrorist organization, we can get rid of them whenever, however, whenever, with that basically no issue. And so Nick's position in that is, okay, if I have no Groypers, if I have no Groyper army, no one wants to claim me because they're going to get arrested, right? A RICO issue is something that they push, that the Groypers have an issue with, is something, actual action, if you will, that's not online, right? These RICO charges is something, and Josh has expressed this too, is they don't want to get caught up in a RICO charge. Well, the same thing's going to happen if they deem a Groyper a terrorist organization, which they should with the trainees and the Antifa themselves. I'm not saying they shouldn't.
Well, I mean, I know what you're, I know.
Let me finish. Let me lay it all out. And so that's the position. They didn't get the push out fast enough between the Nick saying, yes, okay, I'll do it, and podcast tour generational run, and killing Charlie Kirk. And so that's why you had an initial push of Groypers did it. Sure, somebody from the left wants to say that because Nick Fuentes and the Groypers have groyped Charlie Kirk for a long time, but there was no basis for that. And so, but it had massive traction initially because, well, they didn't get the push out to say, okay, we're not blaming it on the Groypers anymore. They could have easily spun that with Tyler Robinson with no issue because everything else is fabricated too. And so that's where we're at. After Charlie Kirk, or before, there was an agreement with Nick, possibly maybe, and that's why you're seeing all of this rise, this generational run post Charlie Kirk. All of it happened post Charlie Kirk.
All right.
Hopefully that flushed everything out. Chat questions.
So here's my response, which is that is an interpretation. But what we're going off of is we're theorizing all of this stuff happened, and the only evidence that we have to basically verify this claim, on both of our sides, by the way, is Nick's rhetoric after the fact. We both acknowledge that Nick has changed up his rhetoric since Charlie Kirk. Why is that? You say because they got to him. I say because he's taking this more seriously. I think he is kind of scared a little bit, but ultimately the point being is the rhetoric, and Luke himself said this in the chat. He said that you paused it before he actually addresses the claim. We got to finish the clip.
Okay, we'll finish
anyway, but like I think it's all contingent on basically it's too soon to tell. And I reject the idea that like everything is fake. That we can't wait, because to me what this sounds like, and again, this is not me really critiquing your argument, but it's like, what does winning look like? I mean, this, like I said a second ago, Nick did not have this meteoric rise in a vacuum. It happened after Charlie Kirk was killed. It happened 2 years after October 7th, when the whole, when now everyone is awake on Israel. Liberals hate Israel. Conservatives hate Israel. Everyone under the age of 35 is not on board. So, and he's the one with a myriad of clips, with a myriad of things you can go back on to basically show that he is anti-Israel. So the question is, did something happen recently? And I cede, maybe. But you're being, I think you're too certain, based on everything going on now. And I don't think I agree with Sneeko, like, I think pairing with Kanye, pairing with Sneeko, I don't think those are bad moves.
You don't think the Sneeko situation ended bad?
No, it did end bad.
What do you mean then? I called that the moment it happened.
Yeah, and you would be right, but the point being is, what did it do? It got him in with Zerka, it got him in with Myron, it got him in with Tate, and those well, maybe not Zerka, but those relationships are absolutely beneficial to Nick. He almost like doubled his audience when he got on with those guys. So it's this idea, like, I think of Sneeko like a capsule on the rocket ship. Like, it broke off, he was necessary to get you out of the stratosphere, no longer necessary, broke off.
I will grant you that I am far more certain than you are, with virtually similar evidence. But that's the thing. I don't need the evidence to come to this conclusion. I'm right regardless.
What?
You're dumb. That's what I said, Josh.
Oh, okay. All right.
Look at this photograph. Every time I do, it makes me laugh. Where did my thing go? Where did
I sent it in chat if you want to pull it up, but I mean, you've kind of said it all.
And what?
The Nick clip. You're trying to find the Nick clip?
Yeah. Where did it go?
I do not know.
No, I need the Nick clip.
I do not know.
All right.
You must have.
Let me find it again. Sorry, chat. Let's do this. Josh, say words while I find it. Where did it go?
No. So anyway, Nick is on a generational run because he's a genius, and we're all riding his coattails. You could identify our bodies based off dental records from his ankles that they got off his ankles. So yeah. You'll hop on board, Zeb. And I'll say it now, if Nick switches up the rhetoric, but this is okay. So help me out here real quick before we continue. I guess it was around 157. If this is the same clip,
I don't think it's the same clip, but it's the same clip.
And like we have said, Zeb, if the rhetoric changes, obviously, like I'll play your devil's advocate here. If they got to him and they want him to change up the rhetoric, they know they're going to have to do it slowly, right?
Yes.
Little like drip feedings. Yes. I totally understand. But again, that's neutral evidence, because it's also possible, as he said before that.
I'm an admirer of Stalin.
What's wrong with?
I'm just kidding.
What's wrong with that?
What's wrong with Stalin? You might want to catch yourself. No, I get the Stalin.
I love Stalin.
I get the Stalin. It's rage bait.
Stalin's awesome. Well, that's not what I was gonna say though. Real quick, shoot, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So Nick, like, obviously my point, as I'm prefacing it with, if you are right, it won't be revealed today. It will take time. I'm acknowledging that. But with that being said, he's not denounced birthright citizenship. He's not denounced Israel, and he's not like pro Negro. You know what I mean? So what exactly did they assimilate him to push?
What do you mean?
He's not changed. Like I said, it'll take time if this is the case, but he hasn't changed any of his positions. So what did
let's finish this clip.
Okay,
let's finish this clip. Engels says, wait, Zeb, I thought you were a tactical bro. Now you're a political pundit. No. I've always been a political pundit. I happen to do the tactical because everybody else is lying because all are all feds. Everybody's a fed except me. You're welcome. I gave you the
Are
answer
there
to
feds
Charlie
in this
Kirk.
room, Zeb?
I don't know, Josh. I don't know.
Jinzi Goy. Oh, you of little faith. I'll remember you in the camps.
Josh, you're going into camps. Just kidding. He's Dr. Tennis says he's changed up his rhetoric 2 other times. He denounced once allies as Wignats, and started a little alt-right civil war over Charlottesville.
No. I mean, the Wignat thing is true, but like, let's be honest. He's right about Wigger nationalists. Like this total,
when he says,
I think Corey Mahler's right on a lot of stuff, but like, maybe he's not a great example, but like the Paul Millers, where we just like must not work with and hate all Negroes.
when I say,
that's just not
when I hold up a shirt and it says Wang half, but white can be anybody. What is that?
Okay, yeah. This is what we get.
No,
You're
it's a trickle.
reading
It's
into the
constant
situation.
and trickle.
You're reading into it.
Read into the situation because it's constant.
We're acting like this seemingly contradictory stuff by him is anything new. He's talked about how, like you brought up the clips in our group chat, how he rags on poor people. Yeah. Because he's an elitist.
Specifically,
he's an elitist. He wants the elite to rule. Yeah, and that's because, and I think he's right about this. The whole like country boys, everyone just go be a plumber because that's how you can make the most money these days. That doesn't win. It's not that we don't need plumbers, but what we need white men to do.
That's not what he says. That is not what he says.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, he has distinct disdain for trades workers. Distinct disdain for blue collar, non-white collar people, men. Distinct disdain because he's. I can't answer that right now.
Hello, syndrome.
I might have to actually call him back.
We got some super chat.
That is an important call. He has like half a dozen positions he cycled. Thank you, Jacob. He cycles through depending on which is convenient. He helped me develop a racial consciousness. I know he's been pro-white. He didn't even address his remarks. Yeah. So let's get through the rest of this clip. Obviously we're spending a lot of time on this. Well, obviously because it matters. Nick is just in the news. He is the news right now. So between him and Shapiro.
Up in the election because he wasn't in favor of an immigration moratorium. I'm against Donald Trump because he's not deporting enough people. I say this every night. And they took this little loophole semantic thing and said, oh, so I guess he's in favor. And you know, this is why I have a real problem with a lot of white nationalists. It's not because of what they believe. It's because of how they act, which is, shouldn't you be supporting me? Like, isn't this a time when our people should be circling the wagons around each other? Like, there's this all-out attack from the Republican Jewish Coalition, from Mark Levin, from... Like, we're in the battle over American sovereignty. Shouldn't you people who are supposed to be pro-white, like, I'm not pro-white enough suddenly? In what way? Because of a semantic way that you interpreted that? And they use it as an opportunity to attack me, to one-up me, and score a point and say, oh, I'm going to take the piss. This little clip, yeah, I like Nick, but this was no good. Really? And so everybody that did that is dead to me. So I saw Devin Stack say that. I saw Asha Logo say that. Eric Arval is DMing me saying, are you against birthright citizenship in DMs? Really?
Real quick on that. I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Arval, but him asking in the DMs, I don't think should be a position that Nick said on camera. But that's kind of besides the point. I mean, that's not him condemning. He's just trying to clear up. Obviously, it was huge news yesterday. But anyway,
how are you going to be pro-white? You're not even going to support me. How are you for all white people and, ecumenical pro-white politics? You're going to throw me under the bus? I'm not being attacked by enough people. I'm being attacked by literally everybody. I'm being attacked by Mark Levin. I even told Tucker to his face. I said, we have to be pro-white. I said those words. I said, we need to be pro-white. We need to talk about white people. I am pro-white. And the so-called white nationalist crew, rather than circling the wagons to defend me and what I thought, even after I was nice to Arvil, even after I had him or I went on his show, they're taking the piss. They're gonna ankle bite. They're gonna try to score a point. No, I'm not in favor of fucking. If I say you're a citizen, I'm talking about, obviously, we should not be afraid to say that we're citizens, we're Americans. It goes without saying that birthright citizenship is not legitimate. That should go without saying. Should we have to put an asterisk there? When I say citizens, I mean, people that are actually citizens, not, you know what I mean by that. So that was really disappointing and really sad and really pathetic. And I'm disappointed how few of them defended me. Not a peep out of, did I get a peep out of any of these guys? I've defended many of them. Any of them defend me? I don't want to name certain names, but holy smokes, it's really sad. This is why I never liked a lot of them. I never got along with them because they're resentful. They're resentful and spiteful. It's not what they believe. I came out of that milieu on right-wing Twitter, but it's a tall poppy syndrome. It's like someone succeeds, someone starts to make an impact, and then they want to cut that person down and just say, oh, well, So that was a totally dishonest reading. I mean, literally, and I'll just say it once more. The clip on Friday, which I'm referring to, I said, if you're born in America, this is your birthright. We're citizens. This is our country. And they said, oh, so he supports birthright citizenship now. It's like, that is such a dishonest, talk about a semantic, trivial little thing. So dishonest. Rather than see the bigger picture and give me the benefit of the fucking doubt, if ever there was a person or a time to do that and circle the wagons and say, he's right, this is about America first. Nope. Zoomer historian was another one. No, let's dunk. Let's dunk on him because that's really helpful. That's productive. We need to take down Nick Fuentes so that some other guy can go on a generational run and, we'll wait for some other person to get influence and impact and get a platform, someone who deserves it. Fuck you. You're dead to me. All those people that did that, fuck you. I will never help you. No one should ever help them either because that's how it's repaid, clearly. And I feel that way about other people that I won't mention, and I don't hate all of them, but I'm never going to help them again for that reason. Disgusting.
go for it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, his reaction to it, I don't think it needs any more explaining than that. I mean, I think to nitpick and say, well, he never said the words, I'm against birthright citizenship. What he said was, you honestly think I'm against birthright citizenship? So the argument goes that this is like a sneak around. So what? Like okay, it's gaslighting. It's gaslighting for the sake of what? Slipping that birthright citizenship is okay past the goal line. He just denounced it. But you guys have made up your minds. So what can I say? I'm always right. Everyone's a Fed except me. And Nick.
Read that one, Josh.
And Lord of the Rings.
John Jacob Winkleman says, I don't care what color you are. It seems like he left that part out. This is what he does to Trump advance, but I'm sorry, Arvil asks him a question in the DMs.
You have a nerd. I honestly wasn't even paying attention. I don't care what color you are. It seems like he left that part out. This is what he does to Trump and Vance, but I'm sorry, Arvil asked him a question in the DMs. I'm not really, what is he getting at?
He's just kind of addressing Nick. He said, I don't care about what color you are. Nick did leave that part out.
Sure.
I guess that was more in the alliance camp, but it was all baked into in there together with the birthright position, along with seems part Arval on the DMs. Yeah, I don't know why he brought out the Arval DMs. To be honest with you, I mean it was probably a genuine question from him, but it is what it is. Also in that clip, dude, I don't know if you noticed it, but the oozing of entitlement was crazy. Like everybody owes him something. Everybody owes him something. I mean, he picks up massive numbers and expects not to get criticized. It's crazy work.
Well, he's definitely sensitive to that. I don't think I won't deny that. I'm not going to say Nick is perfect. And every time he gets upset over something, it's totally justified.
You just said that like right before we started playing the clip. That's what you said.
No, I said he's justified his comments. Like for people to accuse him of like, okay, now he's birthright citizenship. That's retarded. But
all right, that's the Nick clip. That's enough
like,
Nick for today. I'm done with Nick for today. Unless Josh wants to finish his sentence or whatever he was saying.
Arvil's retarded. He's not accomplishing anything.
All right.
But we love you, Arvil.
Zeb teaming, dude. Okay, I addressed this in the previous live stream that we had technical difficulties prior to. Atlas says Zeb teaming up with Ben to attack Nick. What is going on here? Ain't nobody teaming up with I don't care about the browning of America. It sounds like something Nick said the other day, to be honest with you.
I didn't even play that. It kind of sounded like
shots fired.
Did I sound like Atlas Thug? Why, dude? I need to get off the trazodone, man.
Trazodone?
That's what I use to help me sleep because of my job. I live in perpetual brain fog.
Yeah, so I addressed what Atlas is talking about here a little bit earlier, where I was talking about there's a split on the right, and it's been really fractured lately, and then more recently, it's kind of divided into more of a 3-position right, where you have obviously the kosher right, the weak right, and then you have those that they call the woke right, the whatever you want to call it, the dissident right, and inside the dissident right now you're seeing a split between the two parties, which I classify them however you want to. You have the Dave Smiths, the Tucker Carlsons, Nick Fuentes, and then you have a more purity pro-white position, or American position, purity American position, and that's what you'll see moving forward, is this more clear distinction between those two sides specifically, as we see. What are you saying?
I'm laughing at Marcus Aboto. I'm not racist. It was just the Ambien. I don't know. Josh V probably. If anything, is making me less racist.
But yeah, I mean that's what you'll see moving forward. A lot of it's going to be kind of tampered down as we go through some of this. This is an image of the Israel Exposed thread. This is their timeline. Recently, you can see the drop off right here. This is the day that X changed their algorithm. I mean, they have a specific goal in mind, Israel Exposed. This is their reach. Clear drop off right here. This is the day that X changed their algorithm. So moving forward, what you're going to see is a absolute crackdown on that across the board. Larry Ellison buys TikTok. Twitter changes their algorithm. And we'll see what happens between Nick and his positioning on other things, specifically Israel. I don't think he'll let up on that. I think he'll take a very much a Tucker Carlson position where he backs off of Jews and just focuses on Israel. This is why the right has been bashing Pat Buchanan recently, is because, well, I mean, Tucker, his entire first half of his career was dedicated to destroying Pat Buchanan, and now he wants to praise him like he didn't attack him for the better part of 20 years. So that's what we're seeing. You're going to see that split more and more as we go forward as they tamper down the Israel dissident right split. You'll see that dissident right continue to split more as they
well, and I
shift.
think, Zeb, this is just another case of you seeing what you want to. Because what I have gotten to in his show from last night is like an hour-long message where he was talking about the Republican Jewish coalition and how, like, this is world Jewry. This is exactly what I mean by world Jewry.
Sure. I'm not saying he's not doing that right now. I'm saying as we move forward, he will take a more Tucker Carlson, Dave Smith position. I'm not saying he's doing that right now. I'm telling you he will.
Eventually.
Soon.
All right. And I'll eat my words because I want to win the right way.
Time frame.
I want to win the right way. And I think Nick is doing that. But if he goes back, if he genuinely does, I'll be the first. I'm more than happy to admit that I was wrong. But what I don't want to do is jump the gun because of clips taken out of context or a slip of the tongue. Or because he bashes blue-collar workers or something like that.
No, it's not something like that. He does
because
that
he bashes
exactly.
blue-collar workers. Because you don't matter.
Glenn Greenwald, I'm not even going to address that. Mark Levin labels Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor to what country? One only owes duties of loyalty to the country of which one is a citizen.
You can see his like demonic halo irradiating off of him.
Donald Trump canceled David Duke. We canceled Pat Buchanan. We can't. For 6 months, I've been fighting these bastards, whether it's Tucker Carlson or whether it's Nick Fuentes, and I've been looking over my shoulder looking for help. And you know what I found? Nothing. Nothing. We're here today to do something about this. What do you mean we don't cancel people? We canceled David Duke. Donald Trump canceled David Duke. We canceled Pat Buchanan. We canceled the John Birch Society. We canceled Joseph Sobran. We canceled pornography on TV. We cancel stuff all the damn time. Hitler admirers, Stalin admirers, Jew haters, American haters, Churchill haters. You're damn right we're going to cancel them and deplatform them. It's called the market system. They don't have a lifetime job like a bureaucrat who we're going to protect. And if they're your friend, there's something wrong with you. No Hitler admirer, Holocaust denier, platformer should be anybody's friend, as a matter of fact. You don't get to wrap your psychotic, mental, unhinged, Nazi, Klan, jihadist bullshit around American patriotism.
Pause real quick. Nazi, Klan, revisionist bullshit. Mark Levin here.
Mark Levin is just going on, dude. I mean, they want to cancel everybody. Like you said, I mean, David Duke, okay. David Duke's been canceled by everybody. Pat Buchanan is probably going to get the Medal of Freedom here before too long. So, again, you're seeing this clear defining line. Mark Levin lays it out extremely well here in that clip. We're not going to watch it. We got too much to get through. Is this a different one? Is this a different Mark Levin clip?
Mm-hmm.
And I just want the anti-American, anti-Israel, anti-West crowd to understand something.
One of those things isn't like the other. the America, Israel, and the West. Josh, all right, we got three things here. Which one is not like the other two? Is Israel Western? Is Israel American? Obviously not. Why do we group these things together? with a stupid star behind our head. Everybody knows Mark Levin.
Oh, dude, I love how it's their logo for the Republican Jewish Coalition is the American eagle, bald eagle, with the Star of David like invisible in its head. You see it? You see it though?
I do see it. That's how it's supposed to be.
Me
They're telling you, dude.
and
Telling on
millions of
themselves.
people just like me, and you're not going to make it. You think your stupid little podcast, or your stupid little subscription program, or your little TV show, or maybe you have a little radio show, is going to change the world like hell it is.
Doesn't Mark Levin have a radio show? Isn't he the radio show guy?
Here's the difference, Zeb. He also is part of a blood cult and has the ear of the president of the United States.
Your radio show, your podcast. Is that you, Tucker Carlson?
I can summon demons
Is this me, Nick?
to cook my supper.
What does that mean? Is that you, Tucker Carlson?
He's saying
Is
Nick
this
and
me?
Tucker are the same.
Oh,
Thank you, Dr. Shatness, for the 2.
Not if I and everybody else have something to say about
All right,
it.
that's enough
But I
Mark
just
Levin
want
on that one. Next, I want to get to Randy Fine. Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our fault. Is that what he?
how you like that?
Does he? Is that an actual quote?
I think you got to reload it.
Ugh.
I am here to fight, and we are in a time where we need fighters. We need people to go out and fight. We need people who are not going to be afraid, because if we stay silent in the face of what is coming, not only on the left, but on our own side as well, our time in this country could come to an end as well. Jews have been kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault. And there are people who would like to do the same to us here.
He actually did say that.
There you go.
Straight from the lizard's lips.
Unfortunately, some of them are in our own party. But I can promise you this, as long as I'm in Congress, they ain't gonna win. So thank you guys for having me.
Go wash your hands, dude.
Dude, I was thinking, you know how sometimes they quote tweet things and it's like a paraphrase?
Yeah. It's like, this is what he meant, you know?
That's an actual quote. That's crazy. Obviously, I shouldn't have to explain that to you. You should be bright enough to figure out that maybe this isn't true. Possibly, maybe.
Well, and I also love how it's like, it's not simply like, well, these Christian countries were anti-Jew at the time, and we did lend money, which was against their religion.
Easy with the accountability, dude. Easy with the accountability.
Not our fault. Not our fault.
Never their fault.
Our country. This is our party. And this
Oh, not that one yet. I don't want to do that one yet. We're gonna go to where's
Donald Trump.
What am I looking for? Right here.
He's wondered if a country.
Ever wonder if one day you'll have to flee the United States?
I mean, I think that every Jew throughout world history who has a brain and knows history has always wondered if a country that is not a Jewish state is going to eternally provide them security guarantees and full citizenship, of course. I mean, that's I think to think that that's why the existence of the state of Israel is the single greatest guarantor of my loyalty to the United States, frankly. Right? Because Israel exists, that means the United States is going to be a more welcoming place for me, because Israel is there as a backstop in case anything should go wrong.
Oh, is that right? Is that right, Ben? Is that right, Ben? Is
is
that right?
our conservative movement. And my answer is no. No to the Groypers. No to their publicists like Tucker Carlson. No to those who champion them. No to demoralization. No to bigotry and anti-meritocratic horse shit. No to anti-Americanism. No. This is our country. This is our party. And this is our conservative movement. And I will not stand by while it is handed over to those who betray the most fundamental principles I have spent my entire life defending and advocating. That is a path to defeat and a path to moral oblivion. I reject it, because if we lose the right We will lose to the left. And either way, we'll lose the country. I'm Ben Shapiro. This is The Ben Shapiro Show. My answer.
Okay. Obviously, I've been attacking Nick a little bit today. I am not attacking from the position of Ben Shapiro. The Ben Shapiro that claims I'm only pro-America in that it secures my position in Israel, in that it strengthens Israel, in that I am a Jew that lives and breathes Israel. That's not the position I'm attacking Nick on. This is also retarded. And then to claim that it's our party, it's our country. Think about that for a second. This is Ben Shapiro's position, wherever it is.
2 more.
Boom.
Yeah.
But anyway, you heard the clip. You heard the clip. You know what he says. Ben Shapiro's held this position his entire life. Why? Why has he held this position his entire life? Did you bring up the other clip? There it goes.
I thought that I could be friends with a Jew. I thought I could do it. I cannot do it. The reason why is because I realized all Jews do this one thing. They listen to Jewish news sources and quote unquote like witness testimonies over actual video evidence. You could say there's 500 pieces of video evidence of something and they would not care. It can be the most obvious thing and it feels like they're rage baiting you. It feels like they're baiting and you're wondering to yourself, how do they even believe this? Because there's no way that they do, but that was my experience and I've learned from it.
She's perfect.
She's exactly correct. There is a hive mind, if you will, of Jewishness. It just is. Right? This is what we're seeing throughout the entirety of the Jewish coalition here. They can't, this one too, they can't even disagree with each other. I don't even remember what this one was. This is about
This is
Christianity.
from...
we don't have any of this in order. But they are a hive mind. This is the Mark Levin. This is the Ben Shapiro that give essential orders, give positions to espouse. They are a monolith. And then you have some that break out every once in a while. Dave Smith break out. They're playing the long game.
Or
what does Crazy Face say here?
How about little Ada Fuentes? What did his family do for this country? What did he do? How about Tucker Carlson? What did he do for the country? He interviews the Qatari, interviews Putin, he interviews the lowest of scum, genocidal maniacs from the face of the earth. Now he's attacking Christian Zionists. He's literally attacking the Bible that are evangelical Christian brothers and sisters. And it's not just that. It's Catholics. Ted Cruz is a Catholic. He's a great man. He's out there fighting. He's attacked.
Ted Cruz is quoted saying, "The entire point of me running for Senate was for the state of Israel." Is Ted Cruz a senator in the state of Israel, Josh?
Not to my knowledge, Zebulon.
Maybe Texas, but if he could be, he would be.
They're attacking Christianity. Why? Because Christianity rejects what they're spewing too. Judaism rejects it. Christianity rejects it. Atheists reject it.
Is Mark Levin a Christian, Josh?
I thought he was, but I remember we looked into this, and apparently he's not.
Why do...
Well, and this is what we were saying. This is what I said on my show. This is something we said last week, is even when a Jew converts to Christianity, they can't let go of their Jewishness. And an example I brought up was Dr. Michael Brown. I don't have the clip here because I didn't know we'd be talking about this, but Dr. Michael Brown, you know who that is?
Yeah.
Christian apologist, Jewish, ethnic Jew, and he came up with a clip talking about how anti-Semitism is by definition irrational. The whole like, oh, they hate us because they ain't us type thing. Christian defends the Christian faith from rabbinical Jews. Can't get
Agnostic-
over the fact that Christians are not happy with Israel right now.
I got something for you here.
Just baking the cake. Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and take it. Let's go ahead and tackle it. What do you think the Jews? And we're talking about what Christians think of Jews a lot. Let's talk about what Jews think of Christians.
Christ. I think that there you can make an argument that the Gospels, which were written,
He was just a prophet, and
significant. No. We don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think?
What do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed for his trouble, just like a lot of other Jews at that time who were crucified for trying to lead revolts against the Roman and got killed for their trouble.
So he became legend in story, and it became a bigger and bigger deal as time went on.
Yeah, he had a group of followers, and then that gradually grew, and then
Do you think he was resurrected?
No, that's not a Jewish belief.
Okay, I just want to check.
Yeah, no, we're not into
You're not
we're not
into
into miracle
zombies?
stories. No, that's
No?
no.
You don't have any miracles?
No,
in here?
not by Jesus. Right?
No?
They're ones
But
in the
the
Old
God
Testament.
ones?
Yeah, you've got Moses splitting the sea and all that.
What do you think happened there?
What do I think happened there?
Yeah.
Well, I'll go with the Maimonidean explanation that there was. It says in the Bible there was a strong east wind. So there was a naturalistic explanation for a physical phenomenon.
I didn't even know he said that.
Define miracle, retard.
So yeah. So God told them when to go. Like, okay, be there at low tide. I'm going to send a pillar of fire, and then, which I don't know, was there a natural explanation for that too?
Now, Ben Shapiro will give you one.
That makes sense.
So there's a rare phenomenon that happens every few thousand years where yeast coagulates in the sky and it rains mammon or manna.
That's what Maimonides is constantly trying to do. Is from a Jewish point of view, where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ. I think that there you can make an argument that
that was it.
It's repeated. Yeah.
There's a Jew who got killed for his trouble.
There's that, and then also this one. He got the call, took his trip to Israel. He got back. He had on Benjamin Netanyahu on his podcast, Josh. You know what he said?
What did Benjamin Netanyahu say?
The people of Israel, the Jews of Israel, were very welcoming to us. We only got spit on one time.
And the other Jews that were around was like, no, he has a camera.
But it was just a kid, though. It was just a kid. The kid spit on us. Nobody else did. What a retard. What an absolute retard. This is your Republican Jewish coalition with Token Tatum up here.
You dare to do such an atrocity to people that I love, people that I respect, people that are chosen by God.
Respect.
You decide to do something like that, you should never have an opportunity to do it again. And it should be an example.
I didn't know that.
To everybody in the world that if you ever think about trying something like this, your country will cease to exist.
Shit, man. God's chosen people, man. You try, step on them, Palestine. I'm going to come for your ass. Me in the crypt, blah, 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 blah.
Listen, if I'm going out and going to find me a token, it's not going to be this dude. Like if I have my pick of the litter, which they do, it's not going to be Officer Tatum. Is that the only one they could buy, Josh? It seems like that wouldn't be the case. I mean, they have infinite coffers.
I think this is a case of like.
Do you think they're even paying him? He's probably doing it for free.
I would. That's what I was gonna say. Is he's probably like they don't even have to give Glenn Beck $7,000. Glenn Beck
will do it for
worship free. And I don't use that word lightly. Glenn Beck worships Jewish people. He worships them. I have to listen to his show after the show I work for ends, and he's on right after. He does not shut up about these every day in his perfect radio voice. The American thing of Christians and forgotten Jews, the forgotten Jew thing. You ever see that commercial? The Forgotten Jew Woman.
I don't watch commercials.
It's we have a Fox News TV in our studio, and it's like a advertisement for, it's like, donate to this thing where we give money to the forgotten Jews. And you know what they have out there? It's like a woman who lives in a cobblestone shack. She's bent over like this with a cane. She looks like an old Russian hag. She's got the babushka on, and she's like milking a cow. She lives alone, and it's like, please send this woman money. It's like, okay, why doesn't Larry Fink do that? Why doesn't Bill Ackman do that? The Forgotten Jews. I'd like to forget. Neuralizer. Boop.
But yeah, we're gonna finish off this clip of Mark Levin.
Mark Levin.
If it'll go to it. There it goes.
What does he call? Does he call himself the chosen one? He calls himself something.
Does he? I don't know. I don't know
What?
anything about Mark Levin except for this.
You don't get to claim you're MAGA and America first when you're lining up with the Marxists and the Islamists and Hamas and the terrorists. The cowards. We're surrounded by cowards who have microphones,
Agreed.
who have TV cameras, who have websites, who have columns. Cowards.
Bro, the funniest part of this is Mark Levin is the one on the microphone. That cowards, surrounded by cowards with microphones and TVs. And it's like, that's you, dude. Mark Levin, again, the Randy Fine clip where he says we've been kicked out of every country we've ever been in, and it's never been our fault. That's the self
worship.
Yeah, it's a complete blindness to what they themselves are doing. This is Mark Levin talking about all these podcast and radio guys, and he's the one on the podcast and the radios also.
So Mark Levin calls himself the Great One.
Oh, does he?
Yes. There you go.
Anybody
I'm the Great One.
Did he name himself that?
It says the name was given to him by Sean Hannity, but I remembered it because when I worked at WBT in Charlotte, every show, like all of his intros and stuff, it was the Great One, Mark Levin. I was like, bro.
It's spelled C-A-R-L-S-O-N. It's spelled F-U-E-N-T-E-S. It's spelled O-W-E-N-S. It's spelled B-A-N-N-O-N. It's spelled Marjorie Trader Green. You can figure that out yourself. And they're not alone. How are we going to attack the Mondamis and the Talibs and the Omars and the Sanders and the rest of them when in our own house this poison is spreading? We've got to take care of business. We can fight the enemy on the other side. But the problem is, the more daunting problem, the more complicated problem is when they're in our house.
Whoa. Whose house?
It's always ours, Josh. It's always ours. The gaslighting. This is your GOP. This is basically your Republican Party. They've done such a great job that they have essentially given power to the people that they claim to hate, that they claim to be against. I mean, this is the rise of the Mamdanis, where he's saying, what do we do about it? How do we get there? But they have created this. How have they created this? The same way that we're going to lose in the midterms. This is Donald Trump on Truth Social. Owen Schroyer basically summarizes it here. He says, that's funny. We said this months ago and got attacked and called panicans by the same MAGA people who just endorsed a Democrat. Guess we were right again. Essentially, Donald Trump is saying that we're going to lose the midterms. We Republicans are going to lose the midterms because they haven't done anything. And they haven't. Nothing actually tangible has been done. Yeah, we have a couple things here, a couple things there, but we've been lied to the entire time. We have a complete shutdown right now of the government, which I'm not entirely opposed to, but at some point you got to recognize, okay, Well, we're not getting anything done, and now we're definitely not getting anything done. We have control of the House. We have control of the Senate. We have control of the presidency. We have control. Just do the things, but we can't. And so when you lose in the midterms, you got to look at yourself and you say, "Oh, I'm Randy Fine. That's not my fault." Josh,
it's your fault, Zeb. You didn't go vote. Are you going to vote in the midterms, by the way?
I mean,
for
yeah.
who?
I mean,
well, probably Mark Lynch. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll
vote for Lynch.
Well, I mean, I hold my position that I've held for quite a long time is that I do think we need to vote, which I think is also odd. I guess kind of not bashing. We've had this discussion before, but to get back on Nick is that he thinks you should withhold your vote, but also thinks that we can win politically by voting. Which I think is
so. Let me ask you this: when you say that out loud, is there any thought that maybe your assessment is wrong? That your understanding of his argument is wrong?
Okay, give it to me.
That essentially we cannot keep voting for the same thing. We need to send a message sooner rather than later. We will not vote for this so that actual America First candidates can be put forward. And who will that be? There are no America First candidates now, right? So become one. If you can, and you're a young man, become an America First candidate. So that instead of us, because the thing is they give us nothing. They give us no option at all. But you end up voting for something because something is better than nothing. Because Trump is better than Kamala, but Trump isn't good enough.
So you don't vote and Kamala wins. Now what?
Now what?
Now we destroy the country on the basis that Trump wasn't good enough?
Well, if it gets bad enough under Kamala, then maybe we're accelerating to what you want, which is
It's the same argument of Mamdani in New York City. Should we allow Mamdani? Should we promote Mamdani to run New York City? Because then the people of New York City will recognize, oh, Mamdani bad. Let's not vote for them again. That's not what happens. It's never happened. It's never going to happen. There is no political solution. Mamdani in New York City is just the end to what is going to happen if we don't.
All right,
vote for someone relatively decent.
Let's play this out. Let's say in 28, it's.
I say there's no political solution. Period. But
so you don't. Okay, so you don't think there is. All right.
Not well, then I don't see a path to which there is a political solution. And not voting is definitely not a path.
So you're an accelerationist, kind of.
No, I'm not an accelerationist. I am a accelerationist in that we can win when given that acceleration. Yeah. I mean, Atlas made the same point. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant withholding win.
Well, first off, we're in South Carolina. It's not like your vote, like the vote of ZebBoykin and the vote of Josh Vandernoord is going to matter. That's why I didn't vote in the 24 election, because South Carolina is solid red. I don't like, I believe what Nick was saying, and Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. Turns out he was right about everything Trump would and would not do. So I just didn't vote. And everyone, and you remember this because you listened to the show I work for, everyone was dogpiling on me. Everyone was like, that's stupid. And maybe you agree with the principle, but like at the end of the day, in that election, did it matter?
The Trump election?
Yeah, my vote. In that election.
No, but if you're commanding the numbers that Nick claims to command, then yes, it does matter.
Okay. So we get Vance versus Newsom. Or let's fast forward to the primary. It's Vance versus probably 5 other people. It'll probably be Rubio, DeSantis, and let's say there's 2 upset candidates,
Carlson.
and ideally Carlson. Was it on this show or Groyper Report? It was on Groyper Report that I said they might run Tucker.
I don't believe so, but it's a good thought.
So what do we do?
What do we do?
What would you do? Who would you vote for?
I don't know. I guess it depends on who the other names are.
I guess my point is this, is it's like, it's circumstantial. I'm not saying putting forth a protest candidate or not voting is the answer that you should do every time going all the way forward.
Okay,
I
well,
think
let's
that was
take
the
just
answer in
instance
24.
of 24.
Okay.
Just the 24 instance.
All right.
Has Trump been good? No. Has he been better than Kamala? Leagues better. The Biden administration let in 21 million immigrants, illegal immigrants. The Kamala administration would have let in more. The deportation numbers are absolutely abysmal, but the numbers coming across the border aren't. So the question is, do we turn over our country for the sake of possibly maybe in 8 years again, we might get a candidate that might be a little bit further right?
I don't think
that's worth the risk. I know that's not worth the risk, because then you won't be able to win the election, because everything will be fixed. And it's probably going to be fixed anyway, because Donald Trump doesn't understand that he has to fix the elections for anyone else to win. If the election of 2020 isn't fixed in 2025, 2026, 2027, then 2028 doesn't even matter.
So I guess my question is, what do you mean by a non-political solution? Like a revolution?
I don't know. I mean, it could come in many forms. It could come in balkanization. It could come in like some states' rights. It could come in a, I don't know. I wouldn't even be opposed to some type of secession. So
if at first you don't succeed, try again.
We'll rise again. But yeah.
But that's my thing, is like,
just vote harder, Josh.
I don't think that's going to. I'm the one saying
vote
not
harder,
to vote.
Dude. Just vote harder.
The institutions, we have to update our tactics to a modern world. And I think this, like, and I'm not saying this is what you're saying, but this idea that like America's collapse to like in an inward government is then it'll totally collapse, and the white man will be there to pick up the pieces. That won't happen in a vacuum. Russia will still be powerful. China will still be powerful. They will be there to pick up the pieces.
I agree.
It's not going to be the white man recolonize America.
I agree.
So what okay. What do you think? I know I get you, we don't know. But what do you think is victory would look like, and how would we get there? Even if it's not something we can plan for. Like, if we get the America that we want, how did we get there? Best guess. Go.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's possible. I mean, striving for idealism is just a thing.
Then what are we doing here?
To answer the question, though, without answering the question, like answering the question that you didn't ask, practically speaking, I think we see a region split across the board, and a balkanization, which then looks like a lot of train rides for people to other regions. A lot of the issue comes from...
That will not be good for the Indians.
A lot of the issue comes from there's nowhere else to go. There's no new America. There's no new land. There's no Australia. There's no New Zealand. There's no South Africa. There's nowhere else to go. All of these places that can be inhabited are already inhabited. So if it was to go that way, it's always flight. It's always white flight, whether that's from the Catholic Church in England to I don't know, you see that in South Africa right now because of the invasion from the north. The problem is, in America, we're stuck. There's nowhere else to go. What are we going to go to, Agartha? Let's go Antarctica trip. Let's go, boys. Fire up the ship. But that being said, and I've said this many times, we're at a position in history where there's no there's similarities to 1930s. There's similarities to the Roman Republic. There's similarities to England 1400. There's similarities across the board, but nothing is exactly comparable. And so we have to
Coward.
I'm learning Polish. So we have to extract from that and apply what we have today. And the one factor that we can't apply is that there is nowhere new to go. You can't run away from this because, well, we've given our technology to everyone. Everybody has planes, everybody has ships now. And so you can't escape, essentially. And so I don't know. I don't know what that looks like. No one knows what that looks like.
Well, and I think that's a conclusion, an assessment that you came to, I would imagine, around the time you first became political in what, like 2016, 2015?
I mean, I've been political since like high school, so 2008, 2009.
You told me that like you really started to delve into this the past like 5-6 years. So like
yeah, to do this, like study, yeah.
Okay, sure. So my point being is like, you would acknowledge there's been a sea change since 2016.
A what change?
Sea change.
Sea change.
It's changed. Things have changed. Hello.
SEA?
Hello.
Sea change?
Isn't that the expression?
I don't know. Never heard that before.
I've heard that.
I mean, I've heard it before.
Like currents, maybe. I don't know.
Things have changed since 2016?
The point being,
yeah,
is
absolutely.
Like you can criticize Israel now.
You could criticize Israel before.
The consequence. You're playing this game.
No.
You know what I mean. We're playing a game.
When did you start coming on the political scene then?
2015, 2016.
Okay, so 2015, 2016 post-Trump entrance, they opened up social media similar to how it's opened up now. And then they closed it about midway through that 4-year term. And so I think that's what you're seeing here is
maybe you're right.
It opened up like this, and now they're starting to close it again. This is what you're seeing. Was it
opened in 2016, or was that just like the natural evolution of social media? Because think about it, social
Would you
media
say it's open now, or is this a natural evolution of social media?
No, this is not the natural evolution. There is censorship. It is maintained, but my point is, in 2016, I don't think it was like shut down and then opened. I think it was just open, and because that was the reaction, is like this was just social media, like really was created in like 2008. That's when it really started to become popular, and it really became mainstream in like the early 2010s. So by 2015, you get all this information age where anyone can find their own opinion on the internet. You know, it's not simply Fox News. And that's what they said. After Trump won, it was, we got to shut it down. That's what they said.
What? I just had a thought.
First time?
2016 was the rise of Q. A very de-escalation type setup. Nick is very de-escalation-esque. It's just a thought. I'll sit on it. I'll play with it.
I think you're right. De-escalation in terms of like violent revolution.
Don't. There's a political solution coming. It's coming. Just trust. Just don't do anything. Don't Fed post. Don't rile up anybody. Don't do anything. Just sit behind the house, behind the keyboard, and hope and pray. They are closing the Overton window. I think they are.
Well,
I think they got the names they want.
Nick advocates for activism. Like you do kind of cherry pick what he says, because when he says go to Harvard, he says like be useful where you are. Like what can you do? If you're a young man who's trying to decide and you're intelligent enough to go to Harvard, shoot for it. But if he's like, go to your local school board meetings. Get active in the local community, create the environment required to foster this uprising, this political uprising. I don't see anything wrong with that. And with everything going on now, I don't think that's impossible. But I think, and this is what I said, you remember we had this argument very early on in the podcast. What's the next step? And I said it was going to be mass awakening people on the Jewish question. And you said it was going to be mass awakening people on race realism. And I think now is more evident than ever. The Jewish question is way more mainstream. So yeah,
Sure.
is Nick going to go out there and say, I'm willing to work with black people? Yeah, because everyone, liberals and conservatives, are a lot much more on board with the JQ than they are with race realism. Is this Nick going back on what he said? No, but he's playing politics. And the question is it to the point where he's compromising? Because like someone like Marco Rubio, I mean, he's just like bought and sold. Like these people aren't idealists.
I guess
I
to
don't
clear
get that.
up the position real quick, it wasn't that which one would be mainstream first was the JQ or race realism. The one that matters,
I know.
and then which would turn everything over would be race realism, because
I
they
agree.
are one and the same to an extent.
I
It's easier to jump on the JQ because it's less complex
agree.
and it's
But
very
the question,
evident.
But the question is, what is the next battle? You can't force these things. And the thing is, and I think you would agree with this, we can't plan for everything. Ultimately, most of this is in God's hands. And let's be honest,
Christ is king.
Christ is king. But like, would we be having this would all the stuff going on with Tucker and Nick be even happening if October 7th didn't happen? No. They destroy themselves, and this goes for everybody. The blacks are hooting and hollering and rioting and threatening EBT riots. They're threatening to steal if they don't get their Gibbs Me money. And there's zero accountability. People are waking up on all of these things, but people are more inclined at the moment. They're more primed for the JQ. And that was my point back in
Yeah, I think they are.
April.
I think it's pretty evident that they are. I meant to send you the own story thing.
Nick. Which one?
Well, it's just easier. It's less complex. It's less to deal with. It's
You're right.
It's less target on your back.
Yeah, because liberals that are anti, first off, they are anti-white, but they're also like pro-brown people, pro the downtrodden. They see American-bought Israeli missiles blowing up hospitals and kids being shot in the back of the head. Yeah, that tugs at the heartstrings of like anti-white liberal bitches. It's just mass appeal right now. But, and it sucks, but it'll get there one day if things continue to get worse. But it is going to come to that. Like every liberal woman will probably become anti-black as soon as they get the shit kicked out of them by some guy standing outside because he wanted Yo Mike and Ike's.
I'm not convinced, dude.
Maybe not liberal women.
I don't know if you remember the mugging they had the other day. Well, not the other day.
No, I'm not
maybe
saying
about
mass.
2 months ago.
I'm not saying en masse. I'm saying at like a liberal woman.
One might. One of them
when
might
she gets raped, yeah, then maybe she'll change her mind. I think the woman question, that's something we gotta really get.
That's you and Atlas. You and Atlas need to tackle that one day.
Me and Atlas will be tackling women. That's our man on the street videos. We will be assaulting women in the streets dressed as black guys. We'll
premeditated. Premeditated.
If you're a woman,
that sounds Jewish.
It's on site. Premeditated?
No, dressing up and committing a crime.
That is Jewish.
And framing someone.
Well, that's my point. We don't even have to do that because the black guys will just start doing it.
They'll do it for you. This is Sam Parker. Got a video of Laura Loomer's tweet replacing someone else's tweet in the feed. Preview what's going on. It's not just someone. We're talking about the algorithm. We're talking about social media. We're talking about the JQ and its kind of evolution of this open world that's now being closed. Laura Loomer, extremely pro-Zionist. And then Evan Kilgore is anti-Zionist or anti-Jewish or anti-Semitic, or you call it what you will. But this is, I'm going to let this play. This is a minute long. Worth a watch. This is the direction that everything's heading. if it'll load.
It out. So there's some kind of glitch going on where it's going to have this pro-Israel bullshit on people's post. And then when you click the post and you're like, oh, this guy doesn't normally support Israel. Then you click on the post and you see what he really says. But it's showing up as this bullshit on a lot of people's posts, and they're not saying this. It got to be some kind of hack. X is definitely being compromised.
Well, there it is. It's Laura Loomer's tweet. That's what got substituted for Evan Kilgore's tweet.
So they outright substituted Laura Loomer's tweet under Evan Kilgore's profile. This isn't some glitch.
That's crazy.
Maybe it is, but it's not a glitch on accident. They're actively advocating or pushing the feed of people like the Wexler girl, Laura Loomer. Who's the other one? They're all women, most of them, and they push them in these feeds. The algorithm can't keep up with how much they're pushing. That's the problem.
Dang. You got loomered.
She also, I have joined the Pentagon Press Corps. She joined the press corps today.
But
that's what we're seeing. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing the algorithm switch up. It's going to get worse. They're going to crack down. And I don't know. I don't know what the midterms look like by now, by then.
Atlas is saying, this is insane. I didn't see this. The frick. I hadn't heard about this. Well, that shouldn't be a surprise, but like, that's crazy.
Well, I showed you the algorithm drop on these pro or anti-Israel accounts.
The algorithm drop, that's completely different than they are straight up like copy pasting Laura Loomer's tweet into anti-Zionists tweets.
Well, I'll tell you what it's doing.
Excuse me.
The For You page is manipulated. And we've talked about this before with, okay, they're probably feeding Trump specific tweets, specific ideas.
Yeah.
And they're probably doing that to you and me also. But now it's gotten to the point where it can't keep up with trying to produce a Laura Loomer tweet inside of a For You page. So it has to just replace a different tweet. And it can't keep up with how much it's trying to feed itself into the For You page. This is why her numbers are skyrocketing right now and everybody else's is crashing. Because it's feeding her stuff under someone else's name. It's not just him. Whoever caught it. But it's not just him. It's everyone else. I mean, there's probably a case here for Evan Kilgore. Something to the effect of, they claim I said something I didn't say.
I would save this video if I were him.
I'm sure there's going to be some follow-up. Well, let me see what's in the comments. That's insane. Yes. That is insane.
Kilgore is a crazy name, by the way.
We had I played football with a guy named Kilgore. Dude.
Can you imagine being on the football field and saying the name Kilgore come at you? About to get your head ripped in half.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. It's probably not. It's probably not in isolation. It's definitely amongst others. Before we end this thing, I want to touch on Pat Buchanan. I got a project I've been adding links to try and do a Buchanan project before he gets a Medal of Freedom. So we'll see. Hopefully before he dies. And then what's this? Celebrate Violence Day after day.
Ted Cruz. You know, all these people, like, they think
that's your boys. That's your boys. You and Nick and Tucker and Dave Smith all in the same camp. But we're no reaction.
Pleased with
Josh?
yourself?
No reaction, huh? I'm saying the same because I thought the same thing happened when I looked at Dave Riley tweet. I just assumed my app glitched. Well, it did. I guess the algorithm glitched. I can't keep up with it. This is Trump on Pat Buchanan back in the day, and then we'll look at Trump apologizing to Pat Buchanan. This is the direction. These are Joe Barry. Joe Barry, this is the weak right. This is the kosher right. Using Trump to bash Pat Buchanan that Trump has now kind of walked back. This is the direction that it's going. You are either pro-Buchanan or not.
Well, how about Hillary and Rudy Giuliani in New York? What do you got there?
Well, I'm a big fan of Rudy.
Right.
He's been the greatest mayor that New York's ever had. I support Rudy because he's been a great mayor.
No New York mayor has ever gone on to higher
but I think Rudy will.
You think?
And I like Hillary too. I like her very much as a person. I like her very much. But I think Rudy's been the best mayor we've ever had. The city is the hottest city in the world right now, and he's been at the helm. And I think somebody should be rewarded for that.
Now, how about Pat?
Just a side note. Donald Trump was a Democrat most of his life. The same with Elon Musk. The same with Tulsi Gabbard. The same with RFK. I mean, the Republican Party in the Trump administration in the White House has been Democrats the vast majority of life. Is there a Republican Party anymore? Or is it just consumed by Democrats that were center?
No, exactly. Well, I think that's to Nick's point, which is why we need to get the message out there. This is not conservative. I think crashing I
agree.
Oh.
Listen,
Zeb,
I can call it out where it is. If it's true, it's true. Even if it's not, it's not.
I remember our very first show was like late January. On our birthday stream for Outside the Overton, Zeb will be wearing a frog costume.
Oh.
Because by then he will be a Groiper.
You act like I'm...
And all you Glazers.
Listen, Josh wants to act like I don't watch Nick.
You don't?
I watched Nick before Josh even knew about Nick.
Okay.
I've been doing this a long time. Eventually, Josh will catch up to my arc. That's where we're at, eventually. I'm just a couple years ahead of him.
You left out the part where you stopped watching Nick since like 2017.
I don't need to watch him anymore. I'm my own man. I can make up my own mind. When I can tell the future, I don't need to watch the past.
Cannon. What do you think of that?
Okay. All right. Well, when you put it like
seems
that.
to be the guy you'd have to battle.
Well, I cut you off so you couldn't respond.
When you put it like that.
True. He's anti-Semitic. He's anti-black. He obviously has been having a love affair with Adolf Hitler in some form, and I just can't imagine this guy.
But I don't want you to hold back. Give me how you feel now. I mean, these coy answers.
I can't imagine, that Pat is going to be very seriously taken as a candidate.
But he's smart. He's a good debater.
He's a smart guy.
He's a very bright guy.
And perhaps he's a good debater, but he's got a lot of bad stuff out there.
That's Donald Trump on Pat Buchanan back in probably mid-90s, late 90s.
That say he said this and he said that. No, it's the greatest movement by far. I was thinking the other day there was a good man, Pat Buchanan. A lot of you forget. But he came in second in New Hampshire, and he built a huge career. We came in first in 38 different states. That say he said this and he said that. No, it's the greatest movement by far. I was thinking the other day there was a good man, Pat Buchanan. A lot of you forget. But he came in second in New Hampshire, and he built a huge career. We came in first.
Yeah, so he's giving Buchanan his flowers, and he should. I mean, Pat Buchanan couldn't win his elections because, well, the precedent just wasn't there. And then he had people like Tucker Carlson, Mark Levin, these people that were trying to shut him down because, well, he was anti-Semitic for criticizing Israel. And so now we have Donald Trump saying Pat Buchanan's a good man. Now, this is the position, is that there's a Buchanan split. You either are pro-Buchanan, pro-nationalism, or you are Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Joel Barry type of kosher right. And again, as I said earlier, there's a split happening on the Buchanan side, but we'll deal with that later.
I don't know if it would. Probably would have been better to do today, but
what?
If there continues to be Nick controversy, maybe we should get Atlas on for Thursday's edition of Outside the Overton.
Yeah, we'll let that play out tomorrow and Thursday morning.
Do we want to talk about this here or after the show about what's going on tomorrow? Are we doing outside the Overton tomorrow?
Thursday.
Right. So what's happening tomorrow? Nothing?
I got Factions at 12 with John.
I can do a Joshua Vandernord show.
At 3?
3.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
Joshua Vandernord show tomorrow at 3.
Joshua Vandernord show tomorrow at 3. Do your radio voice, radio guy.
Joshua Vandernord show tomorrow at 3 p.m.
That's basically the show today. We covered
I need to get
a
Atlas
lot.
to do
Let
it.
me get
I got an Atlas. You're doing all my imaging.
You're the radio guy.
Yeah,
I can lower your voice.
But I can
just put a voice changer like Atlas has.
Here's the thing. I have a naturally high AI Atlas.
Yeah.
I have a naturally kind of higher voice. So I can do the impressions and stuff, but it sounds like someone doing an impression. You know, it doesn't sound like a natural radio guy like Dave Baker or Atlas Thugged.
Grab these super chats. I think this is the only one I missed. Sorry. Eric says, serious question. If milk would be considered a broth, would a bowl of cereal be considered soup? Sorry, needed to lighten the mood.
Facebook tell you that one?
I don't grant you milk is considered a broth, but if it would be, then a bowl of cereal would be considered soup. Soup, I guess, is there cold soups?
Didn't we have this discussion last week where it's like, what is a hot dog? Is that a taco or a sandwich? It's neither. It's a hot dog.
A bowl of cereal.
And a bowl of cereal is cereal.
Yeah, I think a bowl of cereal is cereal, but a hot dog is definitely a taco.
Hot dogs are American. Tacos are Banish. That's a good campaign slogan. If it's Spanish, it's banished. That's what we're doing. That's our 2020. Vote Zeb and Josh, president and vice president of the United States. Be normal or be nothing. If it's Spanish, it's banished.
American. It's American. If it's American, it stays. If it's not, it goes. Or we can adopt it. We can Americanize it. Pizza. The Italians don't get the pizza. We get the pizza. It's American now.
Now
we just claim it.
I'll say this.
We just claim
it. Here's a Nick take that I don't agree with. He says Chicago style pizza is the best pizza. Chicago style pizza isn't pizza at all. It's lasagna.
Chicago style pizza is a bread bowl of tomato sauce and cheese.
Yeah, exactly. It's not pizza at all. And I got bad news for you, Italians. Americans perfected pizza. Italian pizza sucks. It's basically like gnocchi with like tomatoes and cheese on it.
What happens to New York style pizza when Mamdani becomes mayor? No more pepperonis on pizza? Mandated haram laws in New York.
Better not walk your dog. That should
pet goats walking down the street.
That should be our protest. We just adopt $1 billion,
$1 billion dogs,
$6 million dogs, and then just release them into the streets of New York. Black dogs. Isn't that the thing? Black dogs. They hate black dogs.
I don't know. They have these dogs in Afghanistan. They call them Afghan dogs. They're huge. Feral. Crazy.
I have a stream. I don't know when we do it, but or what platform it would even be on, but we got to do the Afghani giant. Is the Afghani giant real?
Definitely.
I love that story.
Definitely real. The giant of Kandahar.
The giant of Kandahar, yes. That is some cool folklore.
Riri says, GG Zeb, no hate, you're doing good work. I mean, I don't have any hate towards them either. I just think they're wrong and compromised. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't like traitors. This is why women have no physical force, because that's what the world runs on. I don't know. They must be having a women.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of like Holly. What is this doing here? Go home. Get married.
Yeah, go get married. That's exactly right. Definitely get married. I'm assuming she's at home. That doesn't even look like a real profile picture. Is what it is though.
Surprisingly, since starting this podcast, every girl I've spoken to that I've shown it to is down.
Really?
Yeah. Which is 2, by the way, but still.
Just 2. A total of 2.
Yeah.
That's 2 more than 0.
That's 100% of all the ones.
The real takeaway from that is Josh has talked to 2 women. Girls.
Yes.
Need to get Josh married. Josh needs to get married. Josh, you got to get married, dude.
And
if running out of time.
I know. I got to get married, and it can't be anyone in chat. So get out of here.
No one in chat?
Maybe,
you're restricting yourself, dude. What if we blow up even more? Then,
that would be, I mean, I'll get the Hayden McDougall treatment where I get 1 million followers on Instagram and I meet my my racist GF DMs me. But we're not there yet.
Josh is single. If anybody wants to take him up on that, you are single, right?
Yeah.
Okay. We don't really talk personal life here. Sorry. I don't care that much. I'm not a woman. We don't gossip here. I think that's it for today. I mean, we covered a lot of Mark Levin, and I want to
Mark Levin
close up real quick. I want to find this
great
Owen
one.
Schroyer clip because it's really good.
More of me. Just what the doctor ordered. Which
I guess cover what we've talked about today.
So yeah, today we talked about how Nick Fuentes is the future. Groypers versus Liggers, not going to happen because they are one and the same. This is just people that like our show slightly more, which will one day be all of them. When Nick is president, who is going to fill the America First void? It will be outside the Overton. It will be the Groyper Report. It'll be the ZebBoykin Show, the Joshua Vandernoort Show, Offensively Accurate, the NAV Founder Stream, and Factions.
Okay,
all that and more in 20, 45, 36, whatever. Any day now, Zeb.
I thought I sent it.
We're
to
gonna.
us. I guess I'm not.
Josh 'em, smash 'em. What do we got?
All right,
What do we got?
All right, we're gonna finish on this.
What do we got? 6,
World
7.
War III. There is no World War III. They all sound like a bunch of Marxist Islamists. They don't sound like patriotic Americans. Let me be clear. This is good versus evil. You're either a patriotic American who's going to get behind the President of the United States, the Commander-in-Chief, or you're not.
If the people of America won't support Israel, then they'll have to deal with the Islamic jihadists. And if the U.S. doesn't strike Iran, Iran will strike first. Iran has the nukes. The radical jihadis want Americans dead. Don't you get it?
Yeah. So where are...
Dude, that's pretty good.
That's funny.
That's pretty good.
Funny.
All right. All that being said, all of the links are in the description. If you want to support us, you can subscribe, like. Also, go find us on the NAV channel. Find Josh on his channel. If you're on either of those, you can find me on my channel. Once I end this, go check out Owen. He is live right now. Owen Report. Beyond that, we have merch in the description also. Go get a shirt that says everyone's a Fed, except me. It should say except Zeb. Maybe we should do everyone's a Fed except Zeb. Then we get everybody else to wear it. That's how that
No. Everyone's a Fed except me. What's going to be great is when we have a Ligger, what would we call it? So there's AFPAC, we'd be Alpac, you know? Alpaca. And everyone shows up with everyone's a Fed except me shirts. So who's the real Fed?
So all that's in the description. Also follow us on X, my Zeb and myself and Josh. My Zeb, myself and I am my Zeb. I'm
my own Zeb. You disrespecting Zeb.
Find us on X. Also, this show is migrating to NAV Creators Tuesdays and Thursdays, 3 to 5. Also, Josh is doing his show tomorrow. I'll do a Factions with John tomorrow at 12 with, we're going to be looking at who is Les Welker. Who is Les Welker? That's what we're going to be covering tomorrow. with John on Factions, 12 o'clock, Nav channel. And then I am opening up and trying to do a solo stream in the evenings, probably closer to 9:30, starting then and then going till however long it lasts. So I believe that's it. Anything else, Josh? Did I miss anything? I feel like I missed something.
It depends, but it'd be fun to get Atlas on to kind of play ball with you on the Nick thing.
Yeah.
Is Nick a Fed? I mean, honestly, I think it would be fun. It'd be good content, so we should definitely do it for that reason. But I think at the end of the day, we can't be sure right now. So
you can't.
Let's talk about it anyway. You can be sure.
You can't be sure
because you believe in a billion-year-old planet and evolution, Zeb. You're retarded.
That also, Josh does have somebody that's willing to work with him on the evolution debate. Made by Jim Bob said he would take a position on that. Yeah,
Jim Bob would.
Jim Bob said he would take a position, not on your side, on my side.
Oh, so we need
Mean Bean said.
So we need someone to back me up.
Yeah, I think Mean Bean said he would debate on the pro evolution side with you. He does comedy on the YouTube.
What about John Ward?
He probably wouldn't debate. He can moderate. We need to line that. We need to get that debate lined up.
Because I know John Ward is an evolutionist. If he's a deist, he's absolutely, and his like bonobo thing. There's no way he's not.
So yeah, we're gonna line that up. We're gonna line that up on the Nav channel, and then also, yeah, we'll get Atlas on Thursday if he's down with that. We'll kind of, if it depend on what the Nick thing does. I'm sure it'll keep going. Obviously, he's got the go ahead. He's got the green light from whoever, from somebody. He's got it. So,
God, is that blasphemous?
He's the chosen one, isn't he, Josh? Isn't he, Josh?
He's chosen. We just can't agree on by who.
But yeah, join us over there on the Nav channel. We are making big things happen. Working on bigger projects. Like I said, Chevron. I'm gonna do a Pat Buchanan. Probably Chevron this week, Buchanan next week, and then Nick Exposed the week after. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Flat Earth. Josh, you believe in flat Earth?
Nope.
Wrong.
Now, I'll tell you this.
Flat Earther, but I would debate the flat Earth.
I'll tell you this. Did you ever hear that story about the guy who like infiltrated the Flat Earth Society? He was like a rocket enthusiast, and he doesn't believe in flat Earth, but he pretended to. So he was like, "I know how to build rockets. If we can fund it, I'll build like a rocket to go up." And it was like it was a rocket you could ride in, but there's no way it could reach as high as that you would need to prove that. But he like totally
convinced him and got the funding for it.
I'm not saying lying is cool, but I would definitely be down for a Liger-funded expedition to the ice wall. I will happily go to Antarctica. I will be fighting the leopard seals. I will be fighting the Hyperboreans. Me and Zeb, we will touch it.
I want to go to the North Pole. I want to see.
You want to meet Santa?
I want to see where I want to see the big rock in the North Pole. So,
what's the big rock?
Google it. What's it called? Oof. What's it called? Oh man.
What? You've already been to the hexagon on Saturn?
Yeah, that was boring.
It was all demons, man.
It was all demons. It's all demons, man. All of it's demons.
Yeah, maybe that's what this new state of Israel should be on Saturn's rings on Titan or something.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm ZebBoykin.
I'm Joshua Vandernoot.
And this is Outside the Overton.